One thing that I've been previously mistaken on was the exact day when this particular only interview by Malaya Brooks Murray was given. And it was not given, performed on the 2nd of May. The 2nd of May was when the children, Jack and Lily Sullivan, were reported missing. They were reported missing on May 2nd. This interview was given on May 3rd, on a Saturday. So, let's listen until the good part comes.
I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep, and they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own.
Drifting in and out. Like drifting into the ocean.
We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them, and they happen to just get out that slide.
And just to bring up something else, since I'm at it, I have not said that either Malaya or Daniel hurt the children on purpose. I need to make this very clear, because yesterday I listened to that channel and they kept saying, well, but I can't imagine if these parents hurt them or this or that. That's never what I said. You gotta get it really, really straight. I believe something terrible had happened to Jack and Lily, at least to Jack. And negligence or endangerment could be a huge part in that. There is guilt. So the reason, in my opinion, that Daniel Martel keeps telling us how much he cared about the children, how much he cared for them, and how little Malaya cared for them. They are both at fault here, in my opinion, for what had taken place. Both of them. Both of them. I don't know if it's 80-20. I don't know if it's 50-50, 40-60. It doesn't make a difference right now to me. So when people ask, so who is more guilty? It doesn't matter. They both are. So did he do it? Did she do it? No, he never said anything about she did it. He is telling you she had fault in it as well. So the reason, the reason that he brings up that he cared more for the children, he is trying to hit a point. And his point is that she should have cared more for the children in general. So his point is, this is not, don't put this on me. Don't put what happened on me. This is not my responsibility. It is more your responsibility as a mother. So just because I was negligent, endangering, what have you, it should have been you as a biological mother that should have taken care of them more. And now I am the only one that is fighting for us, for our freedom, for the truth not to come out. And he says the truth always has its way of coming out. Well, he feels that she is more responsible. And I don't care if he is a so-called narcissist or what have you. Most people here are on the wrong track. And what we don't want to do is assign guilt. We want to understand how he perceives guilt to be handed out. What are his thoughts? And in a statement, he said 100%. No, he wants you to know that he is not solely responsible. And if anybody should be held accountable, if anybody should have made sure nothing happened to these kids, it should have been Malaya, just because he, according to him, cared more for these children. And I'm not saying cared about these children, but cared for these children more. Doesn't mean he suddenly should have more of a responsibility, because at one point he failed to care for them, causing what I believe was something terrible to happen, at least to Jack. And I believe he took care of the situation, covered their tracks.
Sliding door, and we can't hear it.
And I need to make this very, very clear, because I listened to that channel one more time, and they are. It is more misleading to listen to an option that is so extreme while leaving out the options that make more sense. And the option is that there was severe negligence. Something had happened.
When it opens, and they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew,
It was 40 Fahrenheit outside. I checked it. 40 Fahrenheit. And they didn't have their coats on. I have my coat on when it's 60 or 70. For those of you who go by Celsius, I think, what was it? The fluctuation. 39 would be 4 degrees, but later it became 4. It was really damn cold. It was not that far from freezing. It got warmer then, pretty soon. By 8, I think it was 43 maybe. By 9, 8 or 9, it was 43. And I'm not going to look it up right now what that is in Celsius, but it was damn cold. Really, really cold. And I believe when they removed the children from the home, they forgot the coats. They made sure pink boots for Lily, blue boots for Jack, and the backpack. And that they kept the coats, their boots and belongings on. They didn't have them on. They made sure that these items were removed. These children didn't leave the house. What happened inside of the house, and they were not dressed in the boots, and the backpack was lying around somewhere, but it was not outside, it was not being used. They made sure these items would be removed because they didn't have them on. And that's why Daniel's message about they wouldn't keep these boots and belongings on for so long, or something like that. And I am really surprised on a daily basis by the amounts of good comments I get from people who get it, and the other people who come from other channels who are just completely blinded. Not only are they completely blinded, they are vocal about it. They are used to throwing around guesses, and guesses that are so easily, so blatantly false. But then I see channels that also promote the same falsehoods. They just blur crap out. There's no thought. When it gets difficult, they say, oh, I can't handle this one. I get back to it later. And they never get back to it. And now it bothers me. I want to see now the exact messages from Daniel Martel. And now I'm doing what I hate in others when I have to wait and there's dead air, but I don't care. I'm doing this for a reason. So the exact wording is what I'm going to look up right now. The exact wording. Does anybody here remember? I'm taking my time because I believe it's better for me to take my time than just to overlook anything. And leave boots and all their belongings on. She said to me, so unlikely for kids to venture out to the on their own if they don't usually do it. Duh. With their coats off, right? With their coats off. At 4 degrees, maybe a little bit more, but less than 10 degrees, right? That's Celsius, by the way. That's damn cold. 40, a little bit over 40 Fahrenheit. That's extremely cold, people. And leave boots and have boots and all their belongings on. Why would they take their boots off if they wandered into the forest? And I am not surprised that after that Daniel said, oh, this is enough now. I'm finished, I'm done. Because they didn't have them on. He remembered their boots need to be removed as well. They didn't do a proud foot. They didn't pull a proud foot. They made sure that the boots were on. So, having said all that, they didn't have their boots or any of their belongings because it was inside of the house. And now I'm going to show you something I've been sent earlier, and I was asked, is this Daniel? And listen to what I recorded earlier. So I was asked, is this Daniel? Because they don't respond to all the things that they need, right? She has tubes in her and all these things, but... So what I'm doing here, I'm holding my hand over the beard, and I see he has these pronounced cheeks. She responded so well. Her oxygen levels were so good. Her vitals were doing good. And this freak accident just happened with her. And she only lived 3 days. And I just feel like... And that's a very sad thing. He had a child who died after a few days. I'm leaning towards this being Daniel Martel, but let's see. Very guilty about it too. Because... How many places that do it in Canada, so they're flying something. The head shape.
Why do you think you need to do that? Do you think they don't believe you?
I think their side of the family doesn't believe me, and I just want to clear it up for
bad video,
everyone. Clear it up for everyone, not just the people online making crazy accusations and everything else. No idea. I had no idea. I'm still searching every day.
So, hold your hand over the beard. What am I doing here?
Third day. And those 2 days, I didn't even see her. Didn't even see her because they were telling me, oh, if you're sick, you should just not see her.
So, why am I showing you this? Because these tears are real. This is Daniel, in my opinion, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I do not care, but I put thought behind what I do. I don't just blur. Okay. This is Daniel holding back tears. When it comes to Jack and Lily, he is pushing for tears that won't come.
Because she's doing good, and if she gets a respiratory infection, then that could kill her. All right, so I was thinking, oh, I'm doing the better thing here. And I just feel like an idiot, just like an idiot for all of it, honestly. Searching every day.
I believe that is the real Daniel. And this is the acting Daniel.
Waiting for information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the aircrafts and everything else, and dogs and searchers. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be coordinated. And I can't just go running through the woods. I want to, but I just can't right now because the search is just so far out.
I don't know how this happened.
Holding out hope. I don't know why they didn't find anything in it.
Can you see? Look at his facial features. The cheeks here. I believe it's him.
All the things that they need, right? She had tubes in her and all these things, but
I think it's him.
She responded so well. Her oxygen levels were so good. Her vitals were doing good.
I don't know why I've been sent this video, with her. But I think it's him. Okay, so back to this and a clarification. What happens when you get a date wrong?
Like, it was quiet, and we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. Mm-hmm. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone.
And by the way, when you quote something, it's very open to accurately quote it. Because a couple of you, be exact with the wording, 100%. We have to be. And it doesn't matter if you have to listen to it 10 times. Otherwise, it can change everything.
They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now.
A huge surf, the huge tide. And yes, I believe she also knows where the children were taken. She knows. These two are in it together. He's thinking, you should have been the one to protect the kids. And she's thinking, ever since I've been with Daniel, everything's... Who knows what she's thinking? And yes, her mom has an influence on her. But what she needs, knowing what had happened, she needs time. She needs to remove herself. And maybe she is disgusted with their relationship. I don't know the exact... There's distancing already in this interview. She's already talking about how, him, my partner, Daniel, his name, Last. That's distancing. Her children's name never once mentioned here. Never. She doesn't allow herself to revisit what she had experienced. And no, again, cold-blooded murder was never the option I had given. So for other channels to say, I can do what you do, yeah, please, but you are not even understanding what I'm getting at here. And you're leaving out the most logical possibility. And that is provided by Daniel and his language. He is letting us know he had responsibility in this, but not 100%. That is why he is hinting at Malaya not showing any tears when his mother came in, shocked that mom was home, by home inside of their trailer, because the yelling and screaming went on in there. And something had happened in there before the children were transported away. Let me make this very crystal clear to you guys. So if you are, for whatever reason, on another channel, which okay, there are good channels there, but some of them I don't, and I listened to it just recently, just now actually, like an hour ago. And it's one thing to not know, but spending an hour of explaining how you don't know and how baffled you are, and leaving out the most logical explanation and giving you the choices. Okay, it's either they walked off, no they didn't, okay, it's, yeah, maybe it's an abduction, but I can't imagine Daniel murdering them, or her murdering. Which one of them murdered the kids? Dude, seriously, consider the other possibilities that are far more likely. Something happened. It wasn't planned. There was no premeditation. Daniel, through his language, lets us know that from his perspective, he truly believes that even though he has responsibility in this, Malaya has at least as much. And that when it comes down to it, him taking on the role of a father was taken for granted. And all the expectations on safety and everything were put on him. And he's saying she is the mother. She should have been a lot more alert with the kids. Even Logan talking about Meadow, Meadow, Meadow. I don't know how much Logan knows. Maybe she knows the whole thing. I think they're close enough to where Daniel would have filled her in. So they are not saying she did something. He cannot say it. He cannot get himself. He's talking about her, what he believes contributed to whatever took place. She's on her phone all the time. I believe she was maybe on the phone when something happened to Jack and possibly Lily. And that was probably the night from Thursday to Friday morning. From Thursday to Friday. It was probably that night. And I will show you exactly why I think that in 1 minute. That's what I believe. And she probably was on the phone. And yes, Lily kept coming into the room. She needed something. She wanted something. And maybe the mom was on the phone and didn't care. And I believe it was because something happened to Jack. His language indicates that. I'm going strictly by the statements here. If I'm listening to another channel it is because I need to fill in the blanks. And when the blanks are not being filled, I rather rely on the statements alone to tell me the story here.
But we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued, not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility.
Not just that they could possibly abduct it. It's not possible. That's what she's telling you. Not just that they could not possibly abduct it. And what did Logan say? Picking up, not they were picking up, not picked up, picking up. Not just that they could possibly be abducted.
Which it is a possibility that they could.
And now she's correcting herself a little bit, which it is a possibility. But she doesn't tell you that she actually believes it happened. She cannot get herself to think, I think that they were abducted. I think it takes a lot out of her to lie. I think she is not a natural born liar whatsoever. Which it is a possibility. Okay. So I need to conclude that? Or police needs to go by possibilities now? All right, let's hear it.
Could have been. But just an alert.
That they could have been. Possibility that they could have been. Okay.
To let everyone know.
Oh, and by the way, when you say to be honest, yes, it indicates you feel a need. Even if you have developed it as a habit, as a pattern. And many times it indicates that the person has not told the truth before. As in, possibly, yesterday's live. Or the live that you did 2 days. You know who I'm talking to. You know I'm talking to you. When you took Daniel's side. Blatantly took Daniel's side. All the way. All the way. I understand you want to keep him talking. That's a really, really tough position to be in. I've been in a similar situation before. I need to keep somebody talking and I need to keep the hell quiet until the person keeps talking. I cannot reveal what I'm able to do with what they are saying. I get it. But when you have a channel reaching people, then believe me, the people feel empowered to go out there and tell the whole world, no, you shouldn't look at Daniel. Daniel is a good, Daniel is da 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 da. They do propaganda on your behalf without you asking them to. No, not on your behalf. You don't want. You see, don't. What I'm saying is, people who listen to garbage, which, God, I don't want to talk like that anymore, man. People run with what they hear. So if you're saying you don't know what's on my mind, I agree, but I know what you have stated. And for the certain types of people, it is empowering to go out there, go on a crusade and do a lot of virtue signaling, considering it to be a virtue, to tell the whole world Daniel had nothing to do with it, and anybody that says otherwise must be a really bad person, which often includes me. And thank God I have now I'm now doing the channel and not do it in writing, because it's easier for me to actually try to explain myself here. I don't feel I should have, but naturally flowing, I can express what's on my mind and I feel my mind clearing up. Okay, I got it out the right way, or halfway the right way. So thank you for listening. Let's continue here.
Know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that
And now I missed it.
they weren't aware someone else texted me saying that they weren't aware someone else let them know that they were missing. Just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware.
An alert that they are missing. That's all she can commit to. They are missing. How did they go missing? We had people text me saying that they weren't. Oh my God. And what do you mean? Who is we? And what do you mean you had people text you saying that they weren't aware? We had people text me, passive. We. Who is we? Does that seem like a fabrication to you? Let me continue.
Someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if
You had somebody text you. Let's look at this garbage one more time. We had people text me
saying that they weren't aware.
Who wasn't aware? The people who texted you? And you had them text you saying that they were not aware? Someone
else let them know that they were.
Why didn't you let them know if they text you that they were not aware? Oh. Before, right? Now they are aware and they texted you, we are not aware, we were not aware until somebody else let us know. Because you didn't say you let them know. So they did know, but they didn't know when. They didn't know until, let me see when her dad messaged her. It doesn't really matter, but was it her? I remember Henry Brooks messaged, he left a reply there. Okay, how many? Okay, here we go. Henry Brooks. Baby, I'm a tracker. Baby, I'm a tracker. Okay, 4 weeks ago. Don't tell me nothing. So apparently Henry Brooks was not aware when that first happened. When did it happen first? When they decided to transport the children? What is he referring to? Someone else let them know. They were not aware. But what will an Amber Alert do? Because now people know. I mean, I know. So I'm assuming in Canada it's pretty big story. People know about this, right?
Missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alert.
If everybody could be alerted. How about everybody on the way to Truro, check your cameras? Even though, who is it? The great aunt? She thinks Halifax Harbor. Don't know. Others think up north. I'm going to go with the high tide area, the highest tide, the Fundy Basin, because of the surf. So I know these people will not say, oh, just because she said surf doesn't mean it's about water. Yeah, it does mean that. Oh, and yes, when you say to be honest, it means you have lied before. And lied in your own mind. It doesn't necessarily mean it registered with others, but you have lied to yourself because you wanted to keep somebody talking to you. And so you represented that person in public as something that you yourself don't believe, because you even said in your comment, you don't know what's on my mind. Backtracking. I never supported Daniel blindly. Well, your words did, and then your mind did not. So that was registered as a lie. But you are the other lady, not the lady who said that particular part, but I'm putting it on both of you because I want to clarify this. So when you say to be honest, it means now I'm really honest. Yes, I've BS'd you before because, there was a reason. I'm not a bad person. I'm not saying you are a bad person. I'm not saying that. And so I don't even remember that Wicked Witch thing. I don't even remember that part. But listen. There is a reason why people develop this pattern to be honest. And it's often children who have been caught lying before. At one point, as we all have lied, especially as children. But when somebody gets caught, at one point, they start feeling the need, often for the rest of their lives, to let you know, I am honest now. But it can also be activated, and usually it gets activated at a time when you know in the back of your mind you haven't said all of the truth. And yes, now you changed your tune. Good. And yes, I watched your live. I watched it. I wanted to know, and I like to watch things because I like to fill in the blanks, and more than anything, recognize anything that I have missed when it comes to the topic that's discussed. And sometimes it's more fun to watch it with somebody else commenting on it, on their lives, than watching the same interviews again and again and again and again as I'm doing now. If everyone could be alerted, it would be nice. Yeah, everyone. Well, there are rules for Amber Alerts, and you cannot even linguistically commit to the thought or the belief that the children were abducted. So how is the police going to do that? I'm pretty sure they have an analyst there, the RCMP. I'm pretty damn sure that they do. I think they do. I think somebody told them, you know what? They've already interviewed her. They didn't interrogate her like Daniel, which also, from what I understand, I don't think that they took her to a station, but they've spoken with her. And there's a good possibility that how she talked made them doubt her language very, very much.
We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with this.
It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet. Fundy Basin. Not about rain. They're soaking wet.
Sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm.
Because they didn't have their coats on, and because your ex-mother-in-law, doesn't matter if you are married or not, she is, in my opinion, is to me, I'm viewing her right now, naming her as the ex-mother-in-law. "Oh my God, they must be so cold." She asked, "Did they take their coats?" I forgot. What was it that she said? She said, "No, no, they didn't take their coats," something like that. It was really, was it just a simple no and nothing else? I think that's what I remember, people. I'm not going to look it up right now. And the grandmother, the paternal grandmother in me, "Oh my God, they must be so cold." And what was cold was Malaya's indifference to that. She changed the topic immediately. And again, the lady said, "Well, I don't know. I have to find out if something was skipped." No, that was in perfect order, the Facebook message. It was from the same column. She changed the topic. What did she say? "I just want them," or something like that. She couldn't get into this. She couldn't express these fake feelings. She's not good at that. But that was on May 2nd that they had this conversation. And it makes perfect sense now why she's bringing up, "I'm hopeful that they're feeling warm." Because that reaction from the grandmother hit home. I am supposed to be worried about whether or not they are warm. But how do you hope that they're feeling warm if they are soaked and it's cold outside? How would they feel warm? You see, the same way Chris Proudfoot copies certain parts of The Innocent Parent Seth. The same way. She is copying emotions, real emotions, trying to imitate them, steal them, borrow them, whatever you want to call it.
We're all filled with pain and sorrow.
Because it's over. Because it's final. Do you think they're somewhere on a reservation? I don't know, man. I'm not no. No, I think this is more final than that. Pain and sorrow. That's like on a funeral. And yes, it's possible that you are so focused on covering your tracks, you can't cry. Everybody's different.
Because we just want.
Because you need to explain this. You should have said fear and worry. And you wouldn't need to explain this, but you feel the need to explain it because we just want them home?
Want them found.
Yeah, we just want them found, exactly.
Want them home.
That's the one. That's the line again. Want them home, want them home, want them home. It's a meaningless line, people, that we have heard on television a billion times. Of course, now I need to correct myself. Dozens, if not hundreds of times. I catch myself all the time. Patterns of exaggeration. Because statement analysis, forensic linguistics, is not only a mirror to society, it's a mirror for ourselves, where we can ask ourselves, why am I doing this? Where does it come from? A need to convince in early childhood is one possibility. Believe me, I have to be honest with myself every single day when I examine other people. So I'm not throwing any stones here. I don't want to believe that anybody is guilty or has responsibility in something that has happened to their own children. I do not want to believe that. But I have to be flexible. So some idiot saying, "You need to be open-minded, man," because I'm very open-minded, but not so open-minded that my brain will fall out. Their language guides me into this direction. And I don't need to listen to many, to a lot of lives. I don't need to listen to any. The language only tells me. The language alone guides me. The only thing that I was not sure about in the beginning. I assumed that this particular interview was given on the 2nd, but it was given on the 3rd, on a Saturday. Now let's get to it.
Everyone loves them.
Do you love them? She cannot allow herself to say, I love Jack and Lily. She cannot mention their names. Something terrible had happened. She's still the mother. And I believe there was negligence, endangerment possibly, that resulted in something absolutely horrible. Not something premeditated, not cold-blooded murder. You see, if you give people only a few options and one of them is very extreme, then you're missing out on the opportunity for people to follow their own thoughts. Because multiple choice is always a dangerous thing, man. It's much, 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 much better if you have different levels, different options available, many different options. So people can really feel comfortable with the option they're given. Not abduction or cold-blooded murder. You know what I mean?
They're definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism.
By the way, who said they were not verbal? Was it the biological father's family? I think so, right? But they hadn't seen them in a year and a half or something like that. So it's possible that they have absolutely not a clue what these kids are like. Especially the little one, Jack, what he turned out to be, how he turned out to be. And I forgot that let's go on. Let's move on here.
Autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school, and they don't catch up with the other kids.
Must be genetic, right? Couldn't be that the household that nobody really helped them, nobody really took care of, nobody really challenged them. Couldn't be that, right?
I just want to remain hopeful.
Oh, now she's gonna say that. I just want to remain. She is not hopeful. She wants to remain hopeful. She wants to. Okay? Last night, listen to this.
But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst.
But she said in these messages, I am always positive. I'm always positive. Total contradiction here. She knows the worst had happened. She knows it. So she says in her mother's mind, it's not just me because something very unique and specific and horrible has happened in my home, but in mother's mind. Listen, all you mothers out there, right? You understand me. I'm just a regular mother like all of you.
Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't.
Last night was one of the worst nights. So let me make this crystal clear for you guys. Last night was from Friday to Saturday. It would have been the worst night. You have three children, and something happened with two of them. If they went missing Friday morning around 9 a.m., then the night following, the first night without them, or the first night, because everything was normal until 8 or 9, right? Everything there was, that night was all right. That night was great, right? The night from Friday to Saturday, the first night without your children, would have been the worst night ever in your life. If they had been home the night before and didn't go missing until morning. Her saying one of the worst nights indicates to me there was another worst night. The worst night. and I believe it was the night before. So I was mistaken before about the date. This is Saturday. The night before would have been from Thursday to Friday. So that is the night that I believe something terrible happened. Anytime, Thursday evening to Friday early morning hours. That was the worst night, where there was yelling, that I believe in the middle of the night, Mom came into the house. Let me look at that statement from Daniel. My mom was napping and came outside. That's outside of her trailer. She left her trailer because she heard me yelling. Then he says that morning for the kids. Nonsense. Last part of the sentence. Distancing. Not that morning. It wasn't that morning. Malaya was playing on. That was sometime at night when something horrible had happened. And he didn't say that he was outside. She heard me yelling. I believe there was yelling and screaming inside of the house because something happened to at least Jack. Malaya was playing on her phone. Yes, it's very possible when Lily kept coming to her because something had happened to Jack that Malaya was seemingly indifferent. And I've said it already a long time ago. Mom came out. He says out. Okay, out of her trailer. We know that. And she said Malaya had a look of worry in her eyes that Mom was home. I believe that's about his mother coming into their home. And she saw what happened. At least to Jack. She saw it. No tears. She wasn't scared the kids were gone. Listen to that. She wasn't scared the kids were gone. Does that make sense to you? Just a look of worry she got caught for something wrong. And I do believe Malaya didn't feel comfortable calling police and hesitated and probably called her own mother first.
Have them in their beds.
She didn't have them in their beds. So maybe the night before she had them in their beds, but something happened. So I hope I clarified it. Be very careful whenever you have facts coming in. Now she's thinking about something.
And I don't want to go through that another night without them.
She never wants to go through this again. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.